Beatrice's mother. First of all, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for taking precious time to be here today to witness and to celebrate the union of Jared and Beatrice. A special shout out to the party of the bride who has come all the way from Singapore, which is and that is over 9,760 miles, if Google Maps is correct, and across 13 hours in time zone difference. Your commitment and love to the couple has made it really difficult for me to complain about traveling here myself. For the guests who are from out of town, Jared and Beatrice really want to share with you the best Texas barbecue that they have found, and which I approve, and I hope you're all having a great time. To Beatrice, ever since you were born on the 13th November 1999, you have given me numerous memories of a mother's proud moment. From your first smile, to your first step, your first word, your academic awards and leadership positions in school, and to you graduating with triple majors and honors from Northwestern University last month, you have made me so proud. But nothing beats what has just happened about 2 hours ago when I was able to walk down the aisle with you to present you as the most beautiful bride to Jared. But more than my sense of pride is my deepest gratitude to God that I could do this in place, in memory, and in honor of her late father, Dr. Alex Chow. For some of you who may not know, Beatrice's father died from SARS when he was serving in the hospital fighting the deadly virus during the epidemic in Singapore in April 2003. So Beatrice was only 3 years old when he passed. Till today, he's remembered as a dedicated doctor who continues to inspire courage and commitment among frontline healthcare workers as we fight the ongoing pandemic in Singapore. Beatrice, when Papa found out that he was going to have a daughter during the antenatal ultrasound scan when I was about 6 months pregnant with you, he had exclaimed in the clinic at that moment, "I get to walk down the aisle with her one day." So Beatrice, even before you were born, your father was looking forward to the day that he could marry you off to the love of your life. And today, his wish has become a reality for you. And I know he would also have been so proud of you and so proud of this moment. And I have faith that your Heavenly Father and your Father in heaven are both looking down with joy at this moment. To Jared, although I've only met you since November last year, I've grown to love you as my son. And I'm very confident that we'll get along very well. After all, even before we met, Beatrice has told me on numerous occasions, Mommy, you are going to love Jared because he's just like you. As he's also very neat, meticulous, disciplined, organized, and highly competitive, especially in family games. However, one thing for sure, I do not have any of his giftedness in music. People have asked me whether it was difficult for me to say yes when Jared asked me for permission to propose to Beatrice in January this year. Frankly speaking, it was, from the human mother's point of view, it was the most difficult decision because there were so many unanswered questions. So will he move to Singapore? Will you move to Singapore with Beatrice? What will he do in Singapore? What happens if he finds out that we are not at all like the crazy rich Asians in the movie, but we are just the crazy Asians? Will Singapore be too small, too crowded, and too hot for him? Will he stay in Singapore for good? Or will he take Beatrice back to the United States in the future? So how could I say yes without knowing the answers to all these questions? But Jared, you have told me that the foundation of your relationship with Beatrice comes from sharing a common horizon, which is a man and a woman preparing each other for the day when Christ returns. In your own words, you have told me, that both of you are committed to unifying intellectual faith with applicational faith so that these two elements are no longer disjointed, but both of you want to live as disciples of Jesus Christ in your day-to-day lives. And Beatrice, in a separate letter to me, wrote, and I like to quote, "For the longest time, I thought that if I was ever going to marry, I wanted to marry someone whose faith was genuine, who would push me in my faith, and who had the same vision for life that I have, which is to live a life that is a sincere and wholehearted response to the gospel." So both of you, Jared and Beatrice, have made it easy for me to say yes, because from God's perspective, you two have made your marriage, the foundation of marriage, on following Jesus Christ, and truly your union is what God has put together. I'm so excited that they are going to spend the first 6 years of their marriage in Singapore, thanks to the Singapore government, has signed Beatrice on to a 6-year job as a bond for her Northwestern University scholarship. And I cannot wait to see how God will lead you in your life journey together. Stan and Deanna, today we exchange treasures that God has given to us. Your younger son from an elder daughter, and in doing so, you have gained a daughter, I have gained a son. You are not just my co-parents in law, you are my co-parents in Christ. And I cannot ask for better partners in supporting our children, whether they are in the United States, in Singapore, or anywhere that God may lead them. Finally, Jared and Beatrice, I would like to end with a poem that I've memorized, recited since I was a little girl, which has helped me tremendously in my own life journey to remember what God has promised. God has not promised skies always blue, flower-strewn pathways all our lives through. God has not promised sun without rain, joy without sorrow, peace without pain. But God has promised strength for the day, rest for the labor, light for the way, grace for the trials, help from above, unfailing kindness, undying love. With that, Jared and Beatrice, I wish you, Matthew chapter 6, verse 33, that you too seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all that you need will be given to you by our Heavenly Father. To Jared and Beatrice.